Hello, agents. Hope you're all doing well today. Today is Tuesday, January 18th, 2022. We're going to be discussing lifetime income and lifetime income with deferrals. So let's just jump right into this information. So deferred income, we're going to look at deferring it no months. No years, 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, and 20 years. So what does that look like? And what we want to show here is how different it can be based on what product you purchase and how important it is for timing. So in this scenario, I look at multiple products, a SPIA with a COLA, and 3 riders and a DIA, 3 different riders. So for immediate income starting day one, the immediate annuity beat all riders I could find with an income for $100,000 premium on a 65-year-old male. That's what we're working off here. And this kicked off $5,943 a year per 100,000. So 5.9 would be the payout factor. Also compared that with other products that start in the first year. And as you can see laid out here, nothing came close. The closest was a rider at $5,473. So $500 less a year. So let's jump and look. That includes riders with like a 30% bonus. So you're looking at 130 kicking off less money than your 100. So be careful at those bonuses. It's all about how much income you're pulling. So that's year one. So let's look at what happens if you start it after a year. So rider number 3 here kicks in. And actually, this is a rider combined with some withdrawals. So you dial in the withdrawal of 6,300 for the first 2 years, and the rider guarantees 6,300 for the rest of your life. So that one came in second place. But now let's say you chose that one and decided not to pull the income trigger so soon in years 2 to 4, and you decided to wait to years 5. Now that rider that was on rider number 3 that was best in year 2 is no longer the best. So if you didn't pull the trigger on that one, now you're behind the 8 ball because you should have got a different one. This rider here kicks off 79.90 in year 5, which beats everything else. The next nearest was 74.90. So we look again out 7 years, the same product, the same rider is still the most competitive at $9,100. Nothing is even close at this time. After 10 years, that same product, super competitive with the roll-up rate and the payout factors giving $11,760. So now we're into, if you waited 20 years, the best would be a deferred income annuity. Most of these income riders, they taper off and maximize how much you can get out of them. As you can see here, that DIA, if you can wait to age 85 and you have looking for serious longevity, that thing kicks off $26,000 annually after that 20th year. But what does all this mean? So let's take a look at the cumulative payouts. So as you can see here in year 1, we only have the SPIA and the SPIA with COLA being quoted. Those 2 started immediately and were the best payouts. And so you see the COLA has a total return after 1 year of $5,900 because only 1 year went by. So as we jump into year 2, that third rider kicks in. As you can see, the cumulative payouts continue to grow with the SPIA now at $11,000. Let's jump to the 5th year. We have another rider kicking in off that $7,900. However, the SPIA at this point has already returned almost $30,000. Now we move to the 7th year where another rider kicks in with 9,100. That rider that kicked in year 5 has now returned 23,000, but that original SPIA has already returned $41,000 after 7 years. So let's look at the 10th year. In the 10th year, we have all riders now kicked in. 11,760 with the best rider. That's third rider now coming up with 56,000, but the SPIA is still leading everybody with 59,000 in total return after 10 years. Now let's just jump all the way to the 20th year. You can see now the SPIA is at 118. The income rider that we started in the 10th year has now exceeded everything in the before. So by waiting 10 years and then going another 10 years, you just beat 20 years of SPIA and all the other income riders that we had triggered prior to this 10th year. So that's a really good one. We like that. If you can wait 10 years, that one by far outperformed everything. And as you can see, the DIA coming up here at 26,000, a big jump, and that'll double every year. So if the person lived long enough, this DIA would eventually return more than everything else. However, looking at it as a more universal standpoint, that 10-year deferral, if you can match it 65 to 75, is a really, really good. it picks up from years 75 to 85, really kicking in that income. So we like that. The one thing about the SPIA I do like is that 118 is guaranteed from day one with that life in 20 years certain. And that's after the 20th year. So here's just my final thoughts. The immediate annuity is used for maximizing income now. It is a lifetime commitment because it is extremely expensive or there's no way to get out of them. So there's no liquidity, or if you want liquidity, they discount that value substantially, or you're going to get less upfront for the one that doesn't. SPIAs are gender based. So male, female will have different pricing, and it will be based on that. The income rider, however, knowing the income start timing is by far probably the most important thing. As you could see from that original graph, if you bought the one that's going to trigger great in year 2, but you don't want to trigger in year 2, you want to wait to year 5, another product would have been better. So very important to know this trigger date for the clients. Very, very important. The number one thing I'd say. Also a lifetime commitment with very expensive liquidity. Even if the surrender charge ends, you still paid a fee of anywhere from 95 to 150 points a year to be in that. Your clients did. So if it's $1 million and you paid 1% a year, that's over $100,000 in 10 years just in fees. So you got to add that into if you leave that product. That is an expensive feature if you decide to leave. Carrier selection, they don't do gender-based pricing. So a male and a female 65, the pricing I quoted you here was all for male 65. However, that indexed annuity pricing could work for male or female. It's kind of unisex. Take what you will out of that. Basically, both of these products are for the healthy people. Unhealthy people should really not buy these because these are longevity. As you saw, it really takes off in the future. So the longer you live with these, the better off they're going to be. If you have health issues, you may want to look, if you need guaranteed income, at just periods certain with no life contingent that's going to pay, say, 15, 20, 25, 30 years guaranteed, no matter how long the person lives, and it'll pay the heirs too. So that's my thought on income and deferral periods and how important it is to look at the timing of the income. So that's the end of the presentation for today. I hope you all enjoyed that, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great week. Stay healthy and happy.